another blunt, man. These is good times.
All right, good evening.
You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit.
You know, since I started this channel in July of 2021, one of the central questions that I've asked is, are these guys really this dumb? Do these people actually believe this stuff? Or are they just putting it out because they think that it will pump the stock, or being paid to do it, or what? What is going on here? Because some of this stuff is so ridiculous. And I've said many times, this stuff debunks itself. It debunks itself. You don't have to have any special research skills. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to take a little effort to verify the things that they say. So tonight I saw this video by Al from Boston. It's from the 25th, so a few days ago. I'm just now getting around to watching it. All AMC shareholders, this is a must watch. Adam Aaron busted. The smoking gun is found. The smoking gun is found. Okay, intriguing, right? All right, let's check it out.
Many of you who have been with me in this channel for a long time know that I had broke the news to the community about familiar relationships with AMC with AMC executives and their family members. Well, here is the proof that you are looking for. The link will be in the bottom of the description so you can read it. This is it, the smoking gun of AMC. The board has adopted the AMC Entertainment Incorporated policy on transactions with related persons as our policy of review. Stop. I went through the entire corporate governance model dating back to when Jerry Lopez was the CEO. There were never any suggestions until this document, which came out in 2021 of March, right after.
Stop. That's incorrect. Less than 1 minute into this video, and his central thesis, his central claim that this policy was added in 2021 and it didn't exist in the corporate documents until then, he makes that claim. That claim is false. It's verifiably false. How do I know? Well, I mean, you guys know I'm the asshole who will pause the video and go look the shit up. That's all you have to do. Pause the video, go look up what he said. Is it true? And the answer is no. So here's the SEC Edgar website where you can get all the filings. And here's the one that he's looking at right here. It's from March of 2021. By the way, this is a Schedule 14 document. Okay? So I'm thinking, okay, well, let's verify if what he said was true. Let's go back in time. It's like Huey Lewis and see. So I pulled up, what was it? 2017. Pulled up the one from 2017. Somewhere here. Where is it? Well, I have it right here. 2017, March 24th, 2017, right? This is the Schedule 14A. And just for shits and giggles, I pulled up the one from 2015, Schedule 14A. Here's the one that, where is the one? This is 2017. So he's got the link to this one. This one doesn't have a date on it. This is the 2021 one. Yeah, here we go. Right there. March 19th, 2021. Okay, we'll be consistent. Put it all in yellow. Okay, so the section in question is certain relationships and related transactions. Here it is. And this is the one that he's making a big stink about. Right. There it is. Okay, so this is the one he says it was added here. It didn't exist before. Well, here's the one from 2015, right? 2015. Oh, look, there it is. Certain relationships and related transactions. The board has adopted the compliance plan. The board has adopted back to the 2021 version. The board has adopted the AMC Entertainment policy on transactions. 2017. Okay, 2017. Oh, there it is in 2017. Certain relationships and related transactions. The board has adopted the AMC Entertainment Holdings policy on da-da-da-da. Back to 2021. The board has adopted the AMC Entertainment Holdings policy on da-da-da-da-da, right? There it is. So less than 1 minute into this video, he has made an outrageously false claim that anybody can verify is false. Anybody can verify that. If you know where to go, the SEC Edgar database of corporate filings. So less than a minute in, his central thing of, oh, Adam Aaron added this policy because he's corrupt and da-da-da, he's on the take, is completely false. I mean, really, it seems like it's really skirting the line of defamation at this point. I mean, this is a fraudulent claim. He's claiming, well, we'll let him make his claims here. Okay, so I'm going to take it back just a few seconds. No. This, here we go.
Jerry Lopez was the CEO. There were never any suggestions until this document, which came out in 2021 of March.
Wrong.
Right, the first run up, the initial.
There it is.
Squeeze, what we saw.
There it is.
First little squeeze. Then Adam Aaron put this in there. Approval or ratification of any transaction, arrangement, or relationship of any series, similar arrangements, or any other relationships in which the company or any of its subsidiaries was, is, or will be participant in one of the company's executive officers, the C-levels, the suites, the directors, the director nominees, 5%.
Okay, yeah, directors and executives are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. One group of people is elected, one is appointed. They're not. The board is different from the executive C-suite people. Different people. But pay attention to the way that he's reading this. Okay, let me go back here.
Ratification of any.
I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Adam Aaron put the
Here we go.
Approval or ratification of any transaction, arrangement, or relationship of any series, similar arrangements, or any other relationships in which the company or any of its subsidiaries was, is, or will be participant in one of the company's executive officers, the C-levels, the suites, the directors, the director nominees, 5% shareholders, or immediate family members or household members, or any of the foregoing, or in any firm, corporation, or any other entity for which the foregoing person's controls is employed or has material ownership interest. Each related person has a direct or indirect material interest. The policy is administered by the audit committee. That's a CYA, to cover your ass. Okay. Basically, this is an agreement. This is a not agreement, but something that was passed in the corporate office. The family members of AMC executives can do business with the company, and they get a profit. They get a piece of the pie, and so does the executive. Take a look at this. Read it.
Yeah, I am reading it.
I told you.
So first of all, yeah, it's unclear what he's even referring to. What did he say? He said that the family
members of AMC executives can do business with the company, and they get a profit. They get a piece of the pie, and so does the executive. Look at this. Read it.
I mean, clearly he doesn't understand what this policy is, because he misread the whole first paragraph of it He completely misread it. Now, I will admit, it's got some long, complicated sentences, a lot of commas, a lot of complex structures, and it's hard to kind of parse it. And we're going to do that in a second. But this, I mean, family members of the executives or employees of the company can do business with the company, and they get a piece of the pie, and the executive gets a piece of the pie as well. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. But here he goes saying, "Oh, he begged and pleaded."
Piece of the pie, and so does the executive. Take a look at this. Read it. This is the smoking gun. I told you that this was happening, and nobody believed me. I begged and pleaded with you guys in the community to believe me.
Listen to this shit.
There was a reason why Aaron gifted 500,000 shares and got David and Jeremy Aaron shares in the company. They were inside.
Okay, what is that reason? What is the reason? I mean, what?
Trading. I'm 99% positive that this was happening. And then, of course, you got Phil.
So he just alleged
Jeremy Aaron shares in the company. They were insider trading. I'm 99% positive that this was happening. And then, of course, you got Philip and Mary.
Insider trading? How? 99% sure? Okay. That's pretty flimsy. I mean, when we have some cutoff, screenshots from LinkedIn, and that we have FTX highlighted here. Oh boy, highlight FTX.
99% positive that this was happening. And then, of course, you got Philip and Mary Ladder.
Oh, of course.
Daughter, with
of course.
The swap thing with the FTX. Remember this?
Oh yeah. Oh right. Oh right. Yes. Wrapped AMC. Wrapped AMC. Right. Okay.
AMC with 400 million shares. Somehow there's a transaction that went through that it was backed 1-to-1. Don't you think that's very interesting? Every
not really
transaction that the sweet
okay.
The C.
Now, here's his summary, the distilled down version. I mean, this is so ridiculous. I'm just going to let him read it. But it's funny because he can't even read the things that he wrote. He can't even read his own writing accurately. Okay.
Transaction that the C-suites engage in, money or deals they bring in, ranging from private equity or other sources to help reduce the debt. They collect a commission. Where did
it say that in the policy? They collect a commission, transaction bonus, etc. It doesn't say that.
And a bonus. If they bring in a family member, the family members and the executives get a bonus, a transaction fee, and consulting fees.
Where does it say that? It doesn't say that at all in the policy. We'll go back to it in a second and see what it actually says. But so far, he's 0 for 2.
Presumably, the debt reductions, rent reductions, private equity deals, and all the other deals from 2021 to today were essentially a means to scalp money off the transactions, unnecessary transactions.
Okay. The debt reductions, rent reductions, private equity deals, and all other deals from 2021 to today were essentially a means to scalp money off the transaction by the executives because they all involved family members of executives. I mean, that's what he's saying here. He's saying that if they bring in family members, then they get bonuses, which is not what the policy says at all. But now he's making the leap to say, okay, the debt reductions, rent reductions, and all other deals were essentially a means to scalp money off the transaction by the executives. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. I don't know how you can make that logical leap. So 0 for 3.
All while telling everybody, yes, AMC is at death's door. We're not out of the woods yet. Remember that? We're not out of the woods. Hardly the case.
So he's claiming that AMC was not at death's door, which was hardly the case. So he's saying that AMC was financially healthy throughout that whole period of time when they literally were closed for business. They had no revenue. They weren't taking money from customers. I don't know what basis there is for that.
AMC was a cash cow for these executives and their family members for 8 years. 8 years. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. How can it be for 8 years? You said that they added the policy in 2021. So if they added the policy in 2021 and that was Adam Aaron slipping in his little scam, how is 8 years relevant? How is it relevant? I don't know.
And their family members for 8 years. 8 years. Let's go back. Let's go back. Certain relationships and transaction policies and procedures. Take a look. There is a cash incentive to do transactions with firms like Citi and Antara.
I don't know what
executives get paid on it.
I don't know what this is from here. Certain relation with respect to that you've mentioned, the executives are allowed to participate in transactions. They're a cash incentive. Okay. Where is that? Where is that indicate? Where is the cash incentive? It does not indicate a cash incentive in any of these points. But let's back up and go back to this. Let's go back to this statement. Okay. Policies and procedures with respect to related transactions. The board has adopted the AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated policy on transaction with related persons as our policy for the review, approval, or ratification of any transaction, arrangement, or relationship, or any series of similar transactions, arrangements, or relationships in which the company, including any of its subsidiaries, was, is, or will be a participant, and one of the company's executive officers, directors, director nominees, 5% stockholders, or the immediate family or household members or of any of the foregoing, or any firm, corporation, or other entity in which any of the foregoing persons controls, is employed by, or has a material interest, each a related person, has a direct or indirect material interest. Okay. So what is this? It is the policy for the review, approval, or ratification. So that's the first thing. This policy is in place, and we're going to see something here in a second. This policy is in place so that they have a means by which they can review and approve transactions between the company and one of the company's executive officers, directors, nominees, 5% stockholders, or any firm that any of those people are involved with, or has a material ownership interest in, directly or indirectly. So this is a very standard type of section that's in these documents. How do I know that? Well, I looked it up. I just looked up certain relationships and related transactions. And I found, a lot of stuff on the SEC website that talks about it. But then I found this is on Law Insider, certain relationships and related transactions sample clauses. So this is some sample clauses, sample sections from a bunch of different corporate governance documents. And it just, talks about them. Or actually just gives the text of it. So, and if you just put in certain relationships and related transactions, you will get results from a myriad of corporations like Goldman Sachs. Here's Goldman Sachs, certain relationships and related transactions clause. Okay, Price Waterhouse Cooper. Here's the Law Insider one. Target. Rutgers University, Bank of America, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, Microsoft, Texas Pacific Land. So point here is this is a standard bit of corporate governance language that is in these documents. And it's in here so that the audit committee can review and consider relevant facts and circumstances in determining whether to approve or ratify the transactions. Why? Because you can't have an executive say, oh, yeah, I can take care of that. We can take care of that. We have a business that does that without scrutinizing it, because that would be conflict of interest. That would be a place where fraud could occur. So this policy is in place so that there is something that they can go back to. I mean, it's a standard policy. So they're going to take into consideration these factors: the position within the company, the materiality of the transaction, the dollar value, business purpose, everything that's relevant about what they are proposing, the effect of the transaction on the company's business and operations, whether the transaction is in the ordinary course of the company's business. Basically, does it make sense? Is somebody, trying to take us to the cleaners here? What's the purpose of it, etc. So, I mean, this is something that you want to have in there. This is something that has existed in this. Now we're slipping back to 2015. Here's the 2015 version. And there are a couple slight differences. For example, this one mentions the amount exceeding $120,000 of the transaction arrangement or relationship. That's not in the current one. It also mentions here 10% greater beneficial interest. I don't think that's in here as well in the new one, but that's not what Al alleges. He alleges that this was added in 2021. He even goes so far as to say, and I don't know why he would say this. Actually, I do know why, and I'll tell you in a second why I think he thinks that he could get away with it. He even goes so far as to say that he went through all of the corporate documents going back to when Jerry Lopez was the CEO before Adam Aaron, who came in 2016, and it's not there. Well, that's false. It's there in 2015. It's there in 2017. It's probably there before that as well. Now, why in the hell would he make such a ridiculous claim? Well, I think it's because he likely knows that he can get away with it, because he has gotten away with it for how many months now? Where, and not just him, these grifters, they put out these ridiculous claims that are unsubstantiated. And they get a couple thousand views on the video. They make a little bit of money. And they move on to the next one. Because nobody actually looks into it. Nobody fact checks it. They know that they can do it because, well, at least not in Al's case. He doesn't see the comments. But other channels, you see comments. It doesn't matter whether what was in the video is true or false. You'll see the same types of comments. Oh, thank you for bringing this up. Oh, I'm so glad about it. Meanwhile, it's patently false. So they know that they can do this because they have, they have the least discriminating audience that I've seen in any group or organization or whatever, any group of people. They're the least discriminating, the least questioning. They just listen to what these people say and they continue to consume this content, thereby creating demand for more of it. Well, like I said before, I'm the asshole who actually pauses the video and looks the stuff up. And I've always done that because it's important to check facts. It's important to know whether you're getting information that's accurate and true. I mean, and it's ridiculous to have to say this because, ostensibly everybody in this, and obviously I'm not talking to my subscribers, but everybody who's involved in this AMC trade is an adult. Everybody is an adult and should be able to make these decisions, should be able to evaluate this stuff and say, hey, well, he says he went back. And it sounds like he did a lot. It sounds like, oh, I went back through all these documents, all the way back to when this guy that most of you have never heard of was a CEO. I went to great pains to verify this. Meanwhile, he didn't do anything. He did nothing. And he completely butchered the interpretation of what this is. This is a protective section. This is, protecting the company. They want to look at relevant facts and circumstances before they do business with anybody who's an executive of the company. Makes sense. Makes total sense. There's nothing in here that says that the executive gets a kickback. There's nothing in here that says that the family member gets a kickback. Nothing. There's nothing in here that says that. Where's he getting this from? I don't know. I don't really care. It's nonsense. 100% nonsense. This is some of the most egregious misinformation that I've seen. And that's saying a lot in almost 2 years of looking at all of this nonsense, garbage.
You understand? So Silver Lake, Wanda, Antara, City, executives would get a cut of it. So who can participate? The directors, the C-level executives, the stockholders, the immediate family members. Fuck. Immediate family members who are allowed to be involved in these transactions with the company. But look how they cover their ass. They need to be reviewed and approved and ratified. Ooh, consideration of the transaction. These are just CYAs. They're letting anything through. I'm telling you right now, they were scalping the entire time. They wouldn't even release that information, who the executives were, who the family members were. None of the companies, nothing.
So now he's speculating that everything like Silver Lake and Antara and all these things, Wanda, they were all somehow connected to family members of executives. Interesting. Very interesting, but there's no evidence for that whatsoever. And he says, oh, they won't release that data, but he's certain that it's happening. I mean, no, just no.
The related person can participate in transactions that fall within the ordinary course of the company's business. So that means private equity. That means any deal. The related person can be part of transactions if they do not have a negative impact on the company's business, its internal control or financing report or system or disclosure system controls and procedures. But yet they won't even tell us who these family members are. Who are these people? Who are these?
Well, I mean, they won't tell you who they are. You have no evidence that that's what happened, but it's their fault because they won't tell you who the family members are. I mean, the guy he cannot read. He has poor reading comprehension skills. I pointed this out before. It's clear as day in something like this. I understand that he dropped out of law school. I mean, future defendants around the world are cheering that they won't ever have to be under threat of having this guy be their lawyer. It looks like this is something that somebody sent him or something that he found that explains what this policy does. I'm not sure. I still don't understand where the cash incentive comes from. Breakdown of what they can do. Are allowed to be involved in transactions. They need to be reviewed, approved, or ratified under the company's established policies. Okay. Like, it seems like these points here, I mean, obviously this top part here was added because it's got a box around it. It seems like this enumeration of these items here is pretty accurate. Can be part of translating it from legalese into plain English if they do not have a negative impact on the company's business, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know where this came from. He doesn't say.
Companies who got paid and how much they get paid, how much are the transaction fees, how much are the bonuses? Did we forget?
You know how much the bonuses are. That's in the documents. The compensation is disclosed.
They snuck this in. Guess when they snuck this in? In March the 3rd of 2021, after the first squeeze. I'm telling you this.
What are you talking about? I mean, again, that's 100% false. We have two documents here. This one is from 2015, when before Adam Aaron was the CEO, 2015 and 2017. And it's in both of those documents. I mean, that is egregious. That is an egregious lie on Al's part. That's not true. It's just not true.
And they snuck this in. Guess when they snuck this in? In March the 3rd of 2021, after the first squeeze. I'm telling you, this thing was engineered. Ask Aaron about this. Go ahead. All you yes sirs, go ahead. Ask him about it. See what he says. I want to hear your excuse now. I mean, family members getting into transactions with the company. This is insane. This is absolute fraud. If you don't believe,
the only fraud here is Al. Plain and simple. I mean, I'm trying to understand what would motivate somebody like this to do something like this. I mean, does he really have that little respect for his audience? Does he really think that there's not anybody out there that would be willing to look this up to verify what he's saying? I mean, I always say, I want people to verify what I'm saying. I am not always right, but I go to great lengths to get my ducks in a row before I talk about something on here. Like today, looking at this, and I thought, man, it really can't be this easy. This is absurd. I mean, I got to be missing something here. No, I'm not missing anything. He's wrong. I mean, what do we got here? 7,200 views in like 4 days. So 7,200 views. I mean, imagine being willing to put yourself out there, at least in some capacity. Now, we don't know his name or anything else about him. Put yourself out there attached to this nonsense so you can get 7,200 views on a video. I mean, that is I mean, it's just shocking. I mean, like I said, it debunks itself. What more is there to say?
Believe me. All right. Just click that link. It'll be in the description. It'll be in the description. Just read it. That's all you have to do.
That's all I did. I read it and came to the conclusion that he either did not read it or cannot read or has the reading comprehension of a 6-year-old, because that's not what it says. By the way, also, linking to the document that he's looking at here, that doesn't prove anything. That just gives you the document. What he should be encouraging people to do is go to the Edgar system, go back through the filings, and look, see if it's there. Or did it pop up? Did they slip it in 2021 like he claims? No, they did not. No, they did not. Absolutely outrageous.
Outline for you certain relationships and related transactions, family members. This was a gangbang. and all the family members took a piece of you.
What the fuck?
Millions of dollars. Goodman, Aaron, Ladder. Can you believe that? I didn't write this. This is I didn't make this up. I didn't make this up. I didn't read. Hey, hit pause, read this, what I just wrote. Just hit pause and read it.
No.
I'm telling you right now, they were making money off of us the entire time. They were making money off of us the entire time.
Yeah, because you kept buying the overvalued shares. What are you talking about? Let's see. However, upon a closer critical examination, yeah, right. I mean, this is laughable. One finds these policies wanting in multiple respects, raising questions about the company's commitment to. What are you talking about? It's right in line with the rest of the ones that I found. Jesus Christ. At first glance, however, deeper analysis exposes problematic areas. One of the primary concerns lies in the discretionary power given to the audit committee. While it is common for audit committees to be entrusted with such powers, it is essential, Are they independent? The criteria for the committee's review are alarmingly vague. Okay. I mean, do we think that this is actually all of the, this is it? Or is this just outlining it in a document that's released to the public? Do you think that you really have access to all of their corporate governance documents? I don't think so. But because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Tony? I mean, what do you think?
Do I think that's the case? I don't know. I don't really think that's the case. I don't really think that's the case.
I don't either. I don't either. And these people have deluded themselves into thinking, oh, it's our company. We own the company. And I'm not going to get into a debate on, shareholders and beneficial ownership and all of that nonsense. But at the end of the day, if you own stock in a company, you may have an ownership interest, but that doesn't mean you can walk into the business and act like you own the place. You can't. But the apes do, of course. And they think that they should be entitled to see everything, which they're not, because they're the owners of the company. No. No. All right.
I'm telling you right now, they were making money off of us the entire time.
No shit, because you kept buying the overvalued shares.
They were making money off of us the entire time. They were taking money from scalps every which way they can get themselves bonus. Remember how we were like concerned that they were releasing these documents and stuff, and we noticed a lot of it had to do with compensation. As it turns out, there's a lot more stuff that was going on that we didn't know about, and I'll be breaking it. This is the first one.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I want everybody to spread this on
right.
the media application you have. Consider the link on the bottom, click it, read it yourself, then ask the CEO what the hell is going on. This happened in 2021, right under our noses. They were making money off of us the entire time.
How in the fuck?
It was a scam. All right. If you like the content I'm producing and the value I'm bringing, consider joining a membership.
God.
On my page under membership, hit join, click like, subscribe.
He has memberships. Oh my God. $20 a month. $49.99 a month for access to Al. Oh my God. Now I am seriously considering joining his channel for 1 month so that I can have access to this motherfucker. Since I don't have access through comments, I mean, that is absurd. $20 or $50, members only videos, my extensive DD. Oh, extensive DD. Wow. I mean, you have direct access to me, DD, and resource desk for biotech/pharma plays. Wow. That's a hell of a deal. Yep. So, you know, this is typical fare for Al from Boston, but this is one of the worst, most egregious examples that I've seen. I mean, make no mistake, pretty much everything that he puts on YouTube is false and can be verified to be false. Like when he was talking about Citadel, needing to borrow $600 million, when in reality, people were giving them $600 million so that they could trade it and make money with it. And indeed, Citadel had a record year in terms of profit last year. So it's nothing new, but his ire for Adam Aaron, his targeting of Adam Aaron, um, it really is baffling. And by the way, we also heard Adam Aaron mentioned the idiot from Boston. That's who he's talking about. He's talking about Al putting out all this misinformation, and for lack of a better term, reflexive FUD, reflexive coming from the community, directed toward the community to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Al posted a price chart with $100,000 price. Yeah, that was absurd when he had the supposed DD that justified the $100,000 per share price target, and he said he went again. We're getting a bit of a clue into his MO here. He said he went back through. Well, this has been going on for years, guys. This hasn't been just been going on since 2020. This has been going on for years, and I got a chart going back to 2013, and look, and it showed, and it shows not. Oh, and it went up. Why does it go up and then go down, and then he goes up again, and then it goes down again? It's like, have you ever been? Have you ever traded a stock? Have you ever watched a stock before? That's what they do. They go up and down for many reasons. And critically, I mean, we can't always pin down the reason why. Anyway, but to claim this, I mean, something so easily debunkable. I went back through all the documents. Well, no, you didn't. No, there's no way you did. If you did, you would have found what I found. You would have found the section in every one on the Edgar site. Every single one. And let's see, how far does this go back? I think 2013, maybe. That's when this version of the AMC equity was registered. But they were actually publicly traded before under a different ticker. It was AMCE, AMC Entertainment. And then I think they were private for a while, and then they went back public again here. People like to talk about the IPO, but to me, is it really initial? If they've traded before? Nah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to show here in this video stream. It's a video. It's ultimately going to be a video, but I'm doing it in the format of recording it in a live stream to save myself from having to go back and edit it and all that, render it and whatnot, and put the pressure on me to get it right the first time, and interact with the people in the chat here, which I've been monitoring, but in the interest of time, have been just kind of letting those guys do the thing there. But anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Let's do a couple other little housekeeping things. Finance chat link is in the description for this video. We need to get more people over there. If you're interested in what we're doing here, which is fact checking, looking at things from an evidence-based standpoint, which in my mind is what you need to do. Does it Is it a surefire way to get rich quick? No, absolutely not. Is it a surefire way to profit on every trade? No, it's not. But, if you don't start from basis of truth, evidence, and verifiable data, I think it's not that hard to see how this has led to the situation we're in now with AMC. The whole thing was never based on evidence. It was based on hype. It was based on emotion. It was based on the Federal Reserve and stimulus, but mostly hype, FOMO, and probably some paid shilling, probably, but we, can't prove that. So I'm not going to include that. But it really makes you question what the motivations are for somebody to do this. So anyway, all of these topics and more are discussed on a daily basis over in Telegram at our finance chat group. So I just urge anyone who's interested in, getting a different perspective, maybe looking at things from a little bit more scientifically, methodically, less assumptively, to check it out. Come over and lurk. Come over and lurk. You don't even have to participate. Just come over and lurk and, be a fly on the wall. And I guarantee you'll learn something or your money back. So that link is in the description. The only other thing I wanted to look at here, and this is, I guess, less relevant for the video part, but for the stream part, I guess it would be, is the futures, because we had another futures opening today because we have a holiday. So the futures closed and then reopened. And let me just normalize all these here and see where we're at. It looks pretty flat today. Pretty flat. Although maybe trending down a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So we got something going on in energy. I mean, we're going to see a lot. We're going to see some interesting stuff happen, I think, this week. Maybe, hopefully. We see some moves in bonds this week in the dollar. So we'll see. I'm not optimistic about any of it, and I'm probably staying away from it. But that could change. Yeah, so it looks like we're pretty much flat. All right. So, in summary, I mean, a lot of people, it seems like, even people who are actually AMC apes or believers in the MOAS, even some of them understand that Al from Boston is just bad news. Just bad news. So I'm calling on people to really to boycott this guy. I mean, don't give this guy your views. I mean, I'll give him the view. Better for me to give one view and bring something up and maybe dissuade people from giving more views than a bunch of people just watching it and taking the misinformation and not thinking about it and actually believing this stuff. I'm calling on YouTube to do something about this guy. I mean, this is straight up misinformation. How many times do I have to show? How many times do I have to show with evidence that this is false, that these things that he's saying are false? So YouTube needs to step up and do something. I mean, we need to have integrity on a platform. Now, they can't take down everything that's false. I understand that. But once they get enough evidence, I mean, hell, my channel was deleted with no evidence, and I never got my videos back. Meanwhile, this guy, these clowns, putting out absolute garbage, verbal diarrhea on a daily basis. I mean, so is it personal? Not really. It's not really personal, but I can't lie. That is a bit upsetting. I'm trying to bust this stuff and get people back to reality, I'm penalized. This guy's here putting out obvious garbage with impunity. And he's not only even allowed to monetize his channel, but he also has channel memberships. It's unbelievable. So YouTube, shame on you. And Al, I understand that you're away from YouTube for a couple days. Why don't you do us all a favor and just stay the fuck away? Don't come back. We don't need you. We don't want you. You are not helping anything. You are not helping anything. You are harming retail investors. You are filling their heads with nonsense. And there is no place for that. There's no place for you here. Figure out something else to do. Figure out another scam. Figure out another grift, another hustle. But as long as you are on this platform, let me repeat that. So long as you are on this platform, I will be fact-checking you. I will be calling you out on every one of your lies, misinformation, bits of ridiculous garbage. That is a fact. You can take that to the you can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank. I will be on your ass harder than I've been on it in the last year and a half. And also in Spaces. Oh, is that for this? I don't know. In Spaces too, Ron says. But you're not wanted. You're not needed. Stay the fuck away. Otherwise, like I said, this little channel with less than 2,000 subscribers will be on your ass, calling out your lies and bullshit and providing facts to back it up. Maybe you could learn something from that. Anyway, that's all I got. It's like Monday evening at 11 o'clock, 11:30 for me. And I have to go back to work tomorrow, which I'm not happy about, but at least I got the air conditioners clean. So, and grocery store. So that's good. But other than that, yeah, I've got to run. So, I mean, you know, let's just end with this. In honor of Elizabeth Holmes reporting to prison, whatnot.
This is what happens when you work to change things. And first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
So we're at the point where, you know, I don't know. Are we at the point? I've been at the point where they tried to fight me. I've been at the point where they say I'm crazy. Where is the part where we change the world? That's all I'm asking. When does that happen? I'm waiting for that. Of course, Elizabeth Holmes said that, so who knows? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna kick this one. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you all. Lynn, Manuel, Model 3 Dude, Ron, and everybody else. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. This stuff is ridiculous.
You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit, and you need to quit.
But it is entertaining, isn't it? God, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. I mean, it's what more can you say? It's absolutely fascinating. All right, have a good week, y'all. Catch you later. Take care.